Solving a polynomial inequality starts off similarly to solving a polynomial equation. You want to set it equal to 0 and solve. What you do afterwards is what sets it apart from just solving an equation. What you're going to do is you're going to make a sign graph to see what is true and what is false. The area or areas that are true will be your solution. Make sure that your final answer is written in interval notation. So we're going to solve each inequality, and the first one we're going to start off with is x minus 5 all squared times x plus 2 less than 0. So first off, we got to find the zeros of this. So we're going to set x minus 5 equal to 0 and x plus 2 equal to 0. And we're going to solve. So add 5 over, x equals 5. Subtract 2 over, x equals negative 2. So we have 5 and negative 2 as what will give us 0. Now we're going to go on to our sign graph. So smaller number first, bigger number second. And we're going to find test points on the sides and in between these numbers. So I'm going to say a test point here is negative 3, 0, and 6. Now I'm going to test them. I'm going to take each one individually and plug it back into the inequality and see what is true and what is false. So for the first one, x equals negative 3. Going to get negative 3 minus 5 squared. X plus 2 is less than 0. And just figure that out if it's true or false. So negative 3 minus 5 is negative 8 squared is going to give me a positive 64. And this should be a negative 3, my mistake. And then negative 3 plus 2 is going to be a negative 1, less than 0. And this is going to be negative 64 is less than 0. So is this true? It is. This is true. So everything on this side is true. Now I'm going to do it again for x equals 0. Plug them in and see if it's true. So 0 minus 5 squared, 0 plus 2 is less than 0. This is going to be negative 5 squared is going to be 25. And this is going to be positive 2 less than 0, which is going to give me 50 is less than 0. And this is false. So everything here is false. Now I'm going to use 6. So x equals 6. Plug it in. 6 minus 5 squared. 6 plus 2 is less than 0. And so this is going to be 1 squared, which is just 1. And then 6 plus 2 is 8. Less than 0, which is just going to give me 8 is less than 0, which again is false. So in this case, I only have one area that's true. This side over here from negative 2 to negative infinity. So my solution is going to be from negative infinity to negative 2, parentheses, because of the fact that it's just less than, not less than or equal to. Next, x cubed minus 4x squared is greater than 0. So I'm going to first start off by factoring this. So I'm going to get x squared, x minus 4 equals 0. And when I work that out, I'm going to get x squared equals 0 and x minus 4 equals 0. And this is just going to end up solving out to just be 0. And this will end up being a 4. So I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to make myself a sign graph with 0 and 4. And I'm going to find some test points here, which I'm going to say is negative 1, positive 1, and 5. So plug them into the original inequality and see what's true, or you can even plug it into the factored inequality, which is what I'm going to do because I think that's just a little bit easier. So I'm going to get negative 1 squared. Negative 1 minus 4 is greater than or equal to 0 because I could just switch this out back to the inequality sign because I'm not solving for it anymore. And so negative 1 squared is going to give me positive 1. Negative 1 and negative 4 are going to give me negative 5 greater than or equal to 0. So negative 5 is greater than or equal to 0. And this is false. So everything over here is not true. Now I'm going to use 1 this time, plug it in, and I'm going to get 1 squared, 1 minus 4 greater than or equal to 0. And so 1 squared again is 1. 1 minus negative 4 is negative 3 greater than or equal to 0. And so negative 3 is greater than or equal to 0. Again, big old false. So everything in between is not true either. Now I'm going to do 5. So 5 squared, then 5 minus 4 greater than or equal to 0. So this would be 25 times 1 greater than or equal to 0, which is going to be 25 is greater than or equal to 0. In this case, this is true. So everything over here is good. So our answer for this inequality is just going to be from 4 to infinity, and it's going to be a bracket because it's equal to. So 4 to infinity is the solution to this inequality.